Building a Cybersecurity Culture of Public Administration System in Poland. Authors, Agnieszka Ubowsza from Faculty of Maritime Technology and Transport, West Pomeranian University of Technology in Szczecin. And Tomasz Krylikowski from Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Koszalin University of Technology. Building a cybersecurity culture is based on a high level of employee awareness and treating cybersecurity as one of the elements of culture in the organization. Actions reducing the risk of an effective attack in the company should therefore include conducting appropriate training, tailored in terms of the level of complexity to the recipient of the training and the level of his knowledge. It is also important to appoint people responsible for supervising activities in the field of cybersecurity, including assistance in case of doubts in the analyzed scope. A comprehensive solution will be the implementation of the International ISO 27001 standard for information management. The standard is a set of best cybersecurity practices, the treatment of which as an element of the company's culture will not only enable understanding of threats, but also increase the effectiveness of preventing their occurrence. Enterprise security in the digital age comes with the ability to maintain business continuity and data integrity, regardless of cybercriminals' efforts. Achieving cyber resilience is based on a thorough examination of internal security systems, constant monitoring of the security status in search of gaps and vulnerabilities, and precise determination of business risk. Remember that cyber resilience is not a state, but a process that is constantly being developed and improved. Munir al-Sheikh in his work titled, Developing Cybersecurity Culture to Influence Employee Behavior, a practice perspective identified 4 areas to improve the cybersecurity culture. First one is the identification of cyber threats, which means the ability to identify and report cyber threats like phishing emails, social engineering, scam calls etc. The second area, information protection, means the ability to identify, classify and securely handle sensitive information assets. The third area, general information security skills, means the general security hygiene skills such as password management, mobility security, physical security etc. The last one, security engagement and outreach, means the security engagement with teams across the organization, partner organizations and customers. Equipping employees with knowledge and skills in the field of cybersecurity as well as appropriate security of IT systems and their monitoring can significantly eliminate a significant part of cybersecurity breaches. Public administration serves to achieve national goals and interests by organizing public activities entities, including legislative, executive and judicial bodies as well as local government bodies. In carrying out its tasks, it uses more and more modern information technologies. At the same time, the importance of the Internet and telecommunications is growing in the lives of all social groups. The use of innovative techniques has transformed modern society, which is an information society. On the one hand, it creates threats in the field of public safety and order, on the other hand, it provides public administration and all public services with new instruments of action. This leads to an analysis of technological aspects of security and public order. As the report on the state of cyberspace security in the Republic of Poland in 2020 shows, many organizations, including public administration, despite the growing scale of cyber attacks and the resulting consequences, still have insufficient knowledge about cyber threats related to the use of electronic devices and do not apply adequate security measures. Although the vast majority of Polish employees declare that they know how to protect their electronic devices that are used for business activities, only 40% of them think about it in practice and apply appropriate protection mechanisms. The CSIRT Computer Security Incident Response Team provided data on reports for 2020. There were over 246,000 notifications regarding the potential occurrence of an ICT incident. Of these reports, 23,309 turned out to be actual attacks. Both the number of reports and confirmed incidents were the highest since data was reported by the CSIRT. The figure shows the number of incidents in 2017 to 2020. By far the largest number of reports of potential cybersecurity incidents were reported by state offices. Critical infrastructure facilities are third and other public institutions fourth. According to the data of the Central Statistical Office, in 2020, 9.7% of public administration units experienced incidents related to ICT security. As many as 67.3% of them have lost the ability to use ICT resources, for example due to DDoS attacks, ransomware, hardware or software failures. 37.7% of them have suffered data destruction or corruption, for example due to malware infection, hack or software or hardware failure. 13% of them disclosed confidential data, for example due to hacking, farming, phishing, intentional or unintentional actions of employees. Building a safety culture can significantly reduce these numbers. Creating a cybersecurity culture in the workplace is particularly important when IT systems process the data of millions of citizens and information that is important for the functioning of the state. Although it is not an easy task, this goal can be achieved by using appropriate procedures and system solutions. The ISO 27001 standard is an international information security management system standard that can be used in all organizations for which information is of measurable value or its protection results from relevant legal regulations, as is the case with public administration entities. The standard helps you manage, monitor, control and improve your organization's information security practices in one place. An information security management system compliant with ISO 27001 not only provides a set of relevant technical controls, rules and procedures, monitoring and continuous improvement processes, but also promotes an information security culture and awareness that ensures data security throughout the company. Obtaining the ISO 27001 certificate proves that the company has taken the necessary steps to meet the data security requirements regarding the Act on the National Cybersecurity System. The table presents ICT in Polish public administration. Unfortunately, so far public administration units are not interested in implementing the standard. Only 15% of units decided to take this step. Another helpful step in building a security culture is the employment of ICT specialists responsible for overseeing cybersecurity activities. They should support the administration employees in the event of possible questions or doubts regarding the discussed subject. According to the data of the Central Statistical Office in Poland, 75% of public administration units employ ICT specialists. Most often, the victims of cybercriminals attacks are network users who do not have much experience. Therefore, measures to reduce the risk of an effective attack should include appropriate training of public administration employees. Unfortunately, the percentage of public administration units which provided training for employees in the field of ICT is still too low. In 2018 to 2020, employees of half of the public administration units were trained. In over 80% of these units, not only ICT specialists were trained, but also other employees. The provision of IT services for only a dozen or so % of public administration units was provided by an external entity. It should be noted that the percentage of units in which all IT support tasks were performed only by designated employees or an organizational unit of public administration increased significantly, from 33% of public administration units in 2018 to 56% in 2020. The entire world community, starting in mid-December 2019, has come under the influence of the COVID-19. The pandemic contributed to the increase in digitization of services for citizens, the introduction of remote work on an unknown scale and the migration of data of companies, governments and organizations to the cloud. In 2018 to 2019, public administration units provided remote access to employees mostly in order to access the official email of the office. The introduction by the ordinance of the Minister of Health of the epidemic in Poland on March 20, 2020 changed this situation. In 2020, the number of public administration units significantly increased, which, in order to maintain the continuity of operation, including the provision of services to citizens, provided employees with remote access in order to be able to use applications dedicated to the unit, increase from 29% of public administration units in 2018 to 63% in 2020. In order to access data, increase from 24% to 63%. In order to access and modify Office documents, a threefold increase was recorded from 22% to 66%. COVID-19 influenced on the provision of public services and changed the role of digital solutions in ensuring its business continuity. The outbreak of the health crisis and subsequent lockdowns have highlighted how the digitalization process of public administration in entire European Union, including Poland, is key to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of public service delivery for both EU businesses and citizens. Poland reported minor disruption level to public services during the COVID-19 crisis. Disruption levels ranged from no disruption to a significant disruption. 5 countries, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Spain and the Netherlands, reported no disruption to their public services. Slovakia, Slovenia and Romania were among the countries that reported significant disruption to public services during the COVID-19 crisis in the EU. The figure shows the sectors of public services where digital solutions were mostly used to ensure smooth access to public services for businesses and citizens during the first wave of the COVID-19 crisis. The development and implementation of digital solutions, both in the health and education sector, resulted from the limitation of direct access to healthcare units due to the increase in virus infections and the closure of schools in all European countries. The EU public administrations overcome the disruption of their public services during the COVID-19 crisis thanks to use of digital solutions. Public administration units of all EU countries faced the challenge of providing remote services to citizens due to limited mobility during lockdowns, providing comprehensive information on public services availability, ensuring the access to secured electronic identification services to citizens, and improving citizens' and businesses' digital skills. For each of the challenges other of digital solutions were implemented. The examples of such solutions are the e-pass solution developed by the Croatian Central State Office for the Development of the Digital Society. E-Exausiodotis and e-Dilicy used by the Greek government to provide citizens with the possibility to electronically sign and share official documents in a secured manner. Lithuanian government made available a chatbot which can be integrated in several public administration websites to provide instant and up-to-date information to citizens and business on the availability of public services. Cybersecurity Strategy of the Republic of Poland for 2019 to 2024 assumes systematically enhance and develop the national cybersecurity system. Ensuring cybersecurity is to be based on activities increasing the level of resilience of information systems of the public administration and private sector, and achieving the capacity to effectively prevent and respond to incident. In 2020, approximately 40% of public administration units purchased cloud computing services. In 2019, there were definitely fewer of these units, because it was approximately 31%. Keeping in mind the upward trend, it is necessary to develop national cybersecurity standards as a set of organizational and technical requirements regarding the security of applications, mobile devices, workstations, servers and networks and cloud computing models. References to standards should also be widely used throughout the life cycle of ICT systems. Therefore, it is necessary to intensify activities aimed at implementing the provisions of standards in the field of information security of public administration entities, as well as to monitor the state of security through the implementation of security audits. The percentage of public administration units that carry out security audits slightly increased, from 67% in 2019 to 70.5% in 2020, however, only 39% of the audits carried out are external audits. It indicates that periodic tests, which provide for a real assessment of the system's resilience to threats, are another security assessment measure, are activities aimed at increasing the level of resilience of information systems of the public administration, in addition to audits. Cybersecurity strategy indicates application of best practices as one of the methods of achieving high level of cybersecurity. The activities carried out are aimed at building awareness in the area of cybersecurity and cooperation in the field of educational solutions in the area of cybersecurity. The government shall develop and implement a systemic support for increasing competencies of employees of the administration units in the area of cybersecurity. According to the strategy, the armed forces of the Republic of Poland should be involved in activities ensuring cyberspace security. They should have the ability to conduct military activities, including the identification of threats, protection of ICT systems related to defense and combating cyber threats both in peacetime, during war and in other crisis situations. The goals and mission of the Polish strategy are in line with the new cybersecurity strategy of the joint communication to the European Parliament and the Council, the EU's cybersecurity strategy for the digital decade. In its strategy, the European Commission proposed a set of regulatory, investment and policy solutions in the following three areas: resilience, technological sovereignty and leadership. Building operational capabilities to prevent, deter and respond to incidents in cyberspace. Development of global and open cyberspace by strengthening international cooperation. These solutions resulted in an increase in online activity and thus the intensification of cybercriminals' activities. As one of the activities supporting the increase in the level of cybersecurity, it indicated the improvement of qualifications in the area of cybersecurity of lower-level employees. Such activities will also increase the participation in training among public administration employees from outside IT units. Conclusions. The risk of attacks is increasing, and only regular security reviews, tests and exercises of various potential scenarios, as well as vigilance and caution in actions taken in cyberspace, are necessary to be able to defend against the unpleasant consequences of the actions of criminals. In the face of unforeseen events such as a pandemic or war, with the simultaneous intensification of public administration works based on ICT systems, cybersecurity becomes extremely important. Building a cybersecurity culture based on the increased awareness of ICT network users may significantly contribute to reducing the number of incidents and improving services provided by public administration units. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please contact us.